So, Marathon Season 1 is coming to an end, and let's talk about it. When Marathon first launched, it launched pretty solidly. The game started with a peak of about 80k players, which was great, honestly, for a first day. Especially as the game, was just coming out. And new maps were coming out alongside with the launch, which was awesome. However, this obviously has not continued. Marathon on average is sitting around 10k players on Steam at a time this past month, which is, not awesome, let's be honest. I mean, even Destiny has been seeing more players than Marathon, but I digress. Because a struggling player count is not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about if Season 1 is good. Or I guess was good if you're watching this after. So let's get right into it. Let's start off with the good. The gameplay. Now in my eyes, the gameplay of Marathon has been pretty fantastic. Marathon can get pretty brutal with its time to kill in both PvE and PvP. And while, some may not like that, I do, honestly. The time to kill is what makes Marathon's fights feel threatening. And if Marathon is meant to be challenging, I shouldn't feel like a Guardian from Destiny, and I definitely do not. It can definitely be frustrating to die in what feels like a second, but I think it's something they should keep. But what's really formed my opinion on the gameplay of Marathon has been actually just leveling up. When I first played Marathon, my god, did I feel slow. It was easily my number one gripe with the game. But clearly I was just naive, as all it took was a couple of upgrades to actually get me on my feet. And same goes for Gear 2. It genuinely is insane how many different kinds of attachments, chips, augments, etc. there are in the game. If anything, it's kind of overwhelming, but overall I like it. And furthermore, the devs have moved to actually change icons to make the differences in gear clearer, which was just a great change because I'm not gonna lie, it all really looked the same. I mean, it still does look kind of the same, but it looks a little less the same. However, yeah, I do think they can still add more visual changes, to be honest. Now let's move on to the maps. I love the maps in this game. From Perimeter to Cryo, each one is better than the next. I think the dev team behind Marathon has done just a great job, and I can't wait to see more maps in this game. Last but not least, let's talk about the communication. The responsiveness of the dev team for Marathon has been amazing. Fast patches, new items, and just simply talking with the community has been so nice to see. It genuinely blows my mind that this is coming from the same studio as Destiny, because the communication on their end for Bungie is just, it's straight up crickets right now. Now, obviously, I know it probably sounds like I'm glazing the shit out of Marathon right now, and that's because that's what this part of the video is. So let's finally move on to, the not so good. Let's start with the story. I'll be honest, I am just a little bit disappointed in the story aspect of Marathon. I think I went into this kind of, knowing Destiny's story and Halo's story and thinking like, even without a campaign, they'll still kind of patch together some sort of narrative. And yeah, there is kind of that, but it's just a little underwhelming, I guess, compared to what I was hoping it to be. I think I just wish the story felt a little more involved rather than just talking to NPCs and picking things up around the map. It just feels a little lackluster, especially when there's so much cool stuff I know they have in the lore, but it's like this is the only way to really get it out there. I just think it can be improved upon. But yeah, who knows what the future holds story-wise for the game. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Now, something else that has been on my mind, especially within the past few days with some new news, is the cosmetics in the game. Specifically, the character skins. In the store, they are literally so bad. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I get some of them you might buy and think they're cool, but, like, they are literally all recolors. Like, I will say for a struggling game, the skins in the store are just straight ass. Like, almost everything is a recolor, or just something like that. Like, I just don't get why I would ever buy a skin that's no different from the earnable recolors. I can literally just do a free kit and get a green version of my skin, or I can buy like a yellow one for 10 bucks. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I don't know who was in charge of this, but they got to lock in. However, with recent news, seems like maybe they are locking in? Question mark? Basically, there have just been a bunch of skin concepts put out there that really seem to step up the game of cosmetics within Marathon. And I like them all. I think that, like, some of them, maybe the sort of almost Osiris-esque ones, don't seem like they fit a little bit, but I still like them. But we really don't know how long it's going to take to actually implement these skins in particular. So hopefully it doesn't take too long, or at least I just hope they kind of up their game a little bit. But yeah, we'll see. So let's move on to the UI. Marathon's UI, while, you know, more understandable after experience with the game, is still kind of buns. I'm not going to lie. I still feel like everything could just be a bit simpler. It's a lot, and I mean a lot of tabs of information. Like, it just feels a bit clunky to me, and I think it can just be all condensed a lot easier. And last but not least, for the not so good section, enemy variation. Marathon, for a game with many enemies in the lore, just doesn't really have many kinds of enemies in the actual game. I was really hoping that the compiler was going to be something more commonly found within Cryo, but it's just not at all. I literally still haven't even had the chance to fight it yet, and probably won't till season 2. I'm mostly a solo player, so like, I'm kind of cooked. And other than like the UESC, all we really have is like ticks, I guess. So it just feels a little empty compared to the other Bungie games. I mean, just imagine Destiny with just Fallen. Like, it's just a little lame. Like, it would really just be like Destiny with Fallen, but you can fight a boss that's like a Vex. That's kind of what Marathon's enemy variation is like. Now, I will say, I think it's super cool that they have added a new enemy within Season 1, being that big airstrike robot thing, which I think is really cool and a cool surprise. But I just hope they continue to add more enemy variation within Marathon, and not just like more copy-paste robots, I guess. So, after all this, what do I actually think? Well, I think Marathon is pretty damn solid, but it can definitely be improved. I think with what seems to be Sony's backing of support for Marathon, we have a lot of potential to see some growth for the game, and especially some major improvements. But to end Marathon's first season with the start of an uphill battle is a bit of a shame. But, you know, I'd like to see him tough it out. That's all I've got today. See you in the next one.